Are we live? So here's the deal. We're going on an adventure. Trevor uploaded a YouTube video making a $200 used disc golf bag. And then he went and played with it. So we're gonna one-up him. The game plan is to head over to my secret used disc spot. I'm probably gonna regret showing you guys where I get all my gems at, but we're heading over to Down for Disc Golf. That's where I like to shop for all my used discs. We're gonna head over there. I'm gonna make a $200 bag that's way better than Trevor's because I am the king of used discs, as you guys know. Then I'm gonna play a tournament with that bag. So I haven't picked an event out yet, but we have a flex start almost every week here in Charlotte. So we're gonna get the discs. I'm gonna throw them all in a field one time, and then I'm gonna go play a tournament and see how we do and prove myself as the master of used discs. So that's our goal, that's what we're doing. We'll see you guys at Down for Disc Golf. So I'm hoping to find some discs I know I can count on, and then discs that I know I can count on that also have some style points to them. So I'm hoping to find some sort of rare, unusual, maybe one-off run of something that's sort of well-known or really good. That's kind of the plan of what we're looking for here. So I want to make a bag that's not only good, but also pretty cool. So that's our goal for today. Probably only gonna get one putter, a couple of mids, a couple of fairways, and then one or two distance drivers. Hoping to get somewhere between 12 to 15 discs for the $200 price point. We'll see how that goes. But we're pulling up to the store right now. Wish me luck. We got Daryl here, scanning me up, see what our total's at. I think we did well. We also bailed on the Crown. Found a nicely beaten soft pixel for 7, so I had to go with that instead. Our total came out to 196. I didn't do any math. We just got lucky.
That's impressive.
Thanks. All right, we're gonna give you guys a quick run through. Then at some point we're gonna head out to a field. And then there's either a flex league on Thursday or on Saturday where I'm gonna play a sanctioned round. That's the game plan as it currently stands. Let's show you guys what all I got. We came in just under $200. We're putting with the soft pixel. My overstable approach disc is this really cool Toro with a little factory misprint stamp on it. This was 16, pretty much new. My throwing putter is going to be, shout out my boy Ezra, the Chally SS. I know he likes the Chally SS. This thing was $7. Unbelievable. Next disc is going to be my mid-ranges. I got a couple fire mids. I've got an old Fusion Burst Evidence. The Evidence was one of the first mid-ranges I ever fell in love with, and I've never seen one in the Fusion plastic, so I'm super pumped about that. And the next one's an absolute gem as well. We've got a Ricky Wysocki signed bottom stamp compass. Then you guys know me, I had to sneak in a little bit of the patent pending MVP stuff. We got an absolute fire patent pending Vector here, and that's gonna cap off our mid-ranges. I'm gonna take the bag off, I look stupid. I'll show you guys the rest of the stuff we got here. We've got an 11-time T-Bird. I'm hoping this has a little bit of flip to it, kind of like hyzer flip to straight, flip up forehands. This is absolute money run T-Bird. I don't know whose signature that is. Fire T-Bird, you should not have returned it. I think this is a $9 T-Bird. Then we've got the Unicorn Disc Golf Star Leopard, which I'm hoping is a touch flippier than the T-Bird, but I'm hoping one of these two gives me a little bit of hyzer flip. Our next mid, found a nice patent pending Volt. You can see it says patent pending right in the middle of the disc there. This is a very old manufacturing, old MVP manufacturing run. This is gonna be my stable fairway driver. Really excited to throw that patent pending Volt. Next disc, what one is this? Let's see. This was a Star Valkyrie, so nice flippy 9-speed. The 2011 Grip It and Rip It, new beginning, not the end. I don't know, it's a weird stamp, but it's a Valkyrie, it's fire, it's old, feels great. And then we've got, I've been known to throw Champion Sidewinders. This is a nice pre-flight number factory die. This is an absolute money run Sidewinder. This thing came in at a hot $11.50, unbelievable deal. If you bought this thing on Facebook, it'd be $30. But at Down for Disc Golf, it's $11.50. Then we've got, I think this is a factory second 2020 or 2021 Sexton Firebird. Had to get a Firebird in the bag. And then I'm really going to be counting on the Innova Wraith as my main distance driver. Got this really old, super beat up Star Wraith. Feels a little bit light, $7. Couldn't pass it up, might be PFN. It's got a nice little dome to it. And then for my flippy Wraith, I got this nice Pro Wraith. It's really grippy and it's gonna be really, really understable. It's penned PWR on the bottom. And then our stable driver is gonna be this Lucid Trespass. It's probably not gonna be overstable, but it's gonna be a perfect driver where I can throw it on backhand and on forehand. So next step is to head out to the field, give everything a throw and see how everything flies. We're still under budget. I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. I think I pretty much have every shot covered, and I'm really excited to see how these perform out in the field. And I'm even more excited to see how they perform out on the course under tournament conditions. All right, guys, it is time. I'm out here on the golf course. We're gonna give all of the discs a quick toss to see how everything flies. And then the next step from that is going to go play a sanctioned round with these discs. So I've got my putters and mids here. We're just trying to toss them out somewhere near that golf green up there. We'll start off with the Pixel here. I'm expecting this to be pretty flippy. It's pretty warm. Absolutely dead straight flyer. It's exactly what I want for turnover discs, or a turnover disc. Then we've got the Z or Crystal Chally SS, again, fan grip. See how it flies nice and flat. Oh, that's perfect. Exactly what I wanted. That thing is like perfectly neutral. Really great flyer. Then we've got the Toro here with the Marion County, Virginia stamp. Not quite as stable as I was expecting it was going to be, but it's stable enough. So that's gonna line up, be all my putters. Now I've got my 3 mids here. I've got the Evidence. I've got the Ricky Wysocki signed bottom stamp compass. And then we've got the MVP Vector. Let's see how my mids are flying. The Evidence is a disc I used to really love back in the day. A little hyzer flip with a nice fade. That's gonna do just fine. I'm thinking this compass might be a little bit straighter than that even. All right, I've got a little overlap in the bag. I think the Evidence and the compass are very similar. So let's hope we got something different going on with the Vector here. Ooh, that one goes a lot straighter than the rest. I think the Evidence is still the least stable and the Vector is still the most stable, but that Vector is definitely gonna be my workhorse mid. That thing flew absolutely dead straight. So now we'll check out my fairway driver lineup. I've got a pretty cool stack of fairways here. We'll start off with this 11X T-Bird L mold. It's got that nice old Champion Edition feel to it. Oh, that's exactly how I wanted it to fly. I just wanted something that's gonna pop up a little bit, but then have a nice fade at the end. That disc is absolutely perfect. Now we've got the Unicorn Stamped Leopard. New Leopards, historically for me, have been pretty stable. And I do think it's a touch more stable than the CE T-Bird, and I also think it's probably got a little bit more distance potential. Now I've got the 2010-2011 Valkyrie. I've got no idea how stable or flippy this thing is going to be. Ooh, that Valkyrie is absolute fire. I think little man just stole my Frisbee out in the fairway there. I'll have to get that back in just a minute here. Fire Valkyrie. We've got the Volt. Hoping this Volt is much more stable than the T-Bird. Perfect. So far, I'm really happy with my fairway driver lineup. Then we got this cool factory dyed Champ Sidewinder. Again, these are a little more stable than most people know when they're brand new. This one's been used a bit, but hasn't been used a ton. Let's see how she flies. Perfect. Nothing's better than having a disc that's going to give me a nice, big sweeping push on a hyzer. I don't have the arm speed to get that kind of flight out of a Thunderbird, so if I can have a nice, stable Champion Sidewinder, it's going to let me stay on hyzer like that. It's not going to flip over and roll or anything crazy, but I'm still going to get that nice, big pushing distance. Now I've got 4 discs left here. So far, I'm really, really happy with everything. I do have this possibly Nate Sexton Firebird. I really think this is a factory second 2020 or 2021 Sexton Firebird. I just want this thing to be like super overstable. Whoa. That did not flex at all. That is a fake Firebird if I've ever seen one. Now my next driver is going to be the Innovistar Wraith. This thing has been heavily beaten in. Feels really nice in the hand. Hopefully it flips up just a little bit. Yep, a little bit of flip up. That's gonna be my workhorse, backhand and forehand on most drives. Then we've got the Pro Wraith, which should get a lot more flip up. The Pro Wraiths tend to be a lot more flippy than the Star Wraiths. You can see it popped right up to straight, but then had a nice, reliable fade at the end. And then our last distance driver is going to be this Trespass. I really liked how this felt on forehand, so let's see how it flies on the forehand line. Perfect. I was hoping it was beefy. I thought it felt pretty beefy, and that's exactly what it is. All right, guys, I've gathered everything up. Feel pretty solid as far as the bag goes. I don't have anything too wildly understable or too wildly overstable. Most understable driver is likely going to be that Valkyrie. That thing's going to be a really nice hyzer flip workhorse driver. For any straight shots, again, here in Charlotte, most of the time you want to keep your disc on as straight a line as possible. And I think I have that shot in basically every slot. The only discs I'm concerned about are the Toro and the fake Firebird. That's definitely the most understable Firebird I've ever seen or I've ever thrown. And then the Toro fits right in that category as well. It's just kind of weirdly not stable for a Toro. But aside from that, I feel super confident. And I think with all the other discs in the bag, we'll be able to find a way to get it done out on the course. If you guys can convince Big Trev to play around against me, his used bag versus my used bag, winner take all, go blow him up on X or something. I think that's where he spends all his time these days. I'm not really on there like that. But if you guys can get him to agree, I'd be down. Winner take all. Winner gets the entire other player's bag. So it'd be super fun. I'd be super down for that anytime, any course, any place. Super down. All right, guys, so here's the deal. I've got a pretty sweet rig set up for today. I've never actually ever filmed during a tournament round, but I think what I have going right now is going to allow me to do so relatively seamlessly. I'm going to throw a few warm-up shots here, but I do want to show you guys what we're working with right now because it's pretty fire. I probably won't be mic'd up during. I'm just going to film all the shots, but I got the bag boy set up with the bag, then with the tripod in there just like that. So pretty fire, honestly. And then I just jam you guys, boom, right here. And we'll do a quick test here to warm up. So I'm getting a couple extra throws with these two, which is honestly great. A couple extra bonus throws definitely is not gonna hurt. Okay, that evidence is flippy and the compass is pretty flippy. Hopefully the vector's a little more stable. Okay, good. So those first two are a bit flippy. Second one's a bit stable. A couple discs I really wanted to throw again was this fake Firebird. It was really flippy the first time I threw it. Wow. That's probably going to be my best disc today, but that's the fakest Firebird I've ever seen. I also wanted to see how this guy, honestly, if that Firebird flies like that, I really don't even need to see how this forehands because that just forehanded so straight. Let's see how much turn this will get. So that's that 11X T-bird. Basically just flying like a longer version of those mids. And I actually think the Star Leopard is a hair more stable. That Leopard's gonna be a money disc today as well. There's a couple more shots I wanted to try. That Firebird's so good, I don't need to really throw the Volt forehand, but I did want to do a hyzer flip forehand with this PFN sidey. It's exactly what I want. Nice and stable, but it'll still push a good ways before it fades. And then the Volt, I really need this to be more stable than all those other fairways. They're all pretty neutral. Honestly, we're in good shape today disc-wise. I'm just concerned that I've only thrown all these discs about 2 times a pop now. This is that flippy Valkyrie. Also, I filmed that initial reaction of all the discs like 3 or 4 days ago now, so just going off sheer memory here. I remember this being pretty flippy. Yep. Wow, okay. I've actually got a fire bag today. My stable driver, this trespass needs to be stable. I'm gonna just put it on a little too much Annie just to see what happens. Swing. Yeah, that's gonna be a nice piece as well. I'm gonna try the Wraith on a similar line. I think this Wraith was a touch more flippy. Pretty similar, maybe a hair more stable actually. And then I don't see myself forehanding this guy, so we'll have to backhand this Pro Wraith once. Well, all right, that's about all the practice we're gonna get before we go into this thing. Let's go gather everything up, go to the players meeting. See you guys on hole 1. All right, guys, this is hole 1. It's about a 260-foot par 3. Now, I will warn you guys that I did not film all of my upshots. I hit a tree in circle 2, wound up having to lay up for the tap-in par. I filmed mostly every shot, but you know, when you're filming during a tournament, sometimes there's just gonna be some moments where it feels slightly inappropriate to film. So hole 2 was the exact same deal. I hit an early tree about halfway up the fairway, laid up, tapped in another par. Now hole 3 here is going to be right around 260 feet, throwing an absolutely beautiful hyzer with the evidence there. We wound up just outside the circle with this funky little straddle putt. We're gonna toss it up in the air and we're gonna miss. So unfortunately, we are going to tap in another par. Starting off par. Not really the greatest start, but it is what it is. Now, next hole is the first opportunity. Hole 4 is a great chance to break out that fake Firebird. And this disc was absolute fire all day long, tapping in an extremely easy birdie. Dude, this Firebird is just so unbelievably understable compared to any Firebird I've ever thrown. That disc was money for me all day long. Now, we tried to forehand the trespass on hole 5 here. Hole 5 has a very unique basket. The basket sits like 15 or 16 feet elevated up on that tree stump. We're laying up with the Toro, finding ourselves inside the circle, but it's extremely elevated and we're unable to capitalize. So unfortunately, we are going to be tapping out our first bogey of the day. The hyper elevated basket unfortunately gives us our first bogey of the day. This hole played very difficult all day long. This is one of those holes, if you're not willing to lay up, you're just going to gun it back and forth over and over again. Fortunately, the next hole here, we have another opportunity to go with the fake Firebird. Due to this low-hanging branch, we don't really have a great opportunity to film. I hit some of those trees that guard the basket, landing us in deep circle 2 territory, laying up, tapping in another par, still sitting at 1 over par. Now we just tried to forehand that PFN Sidewinder. It did not hyzer flip at all. So we wind up kicking over to the right here. I throw the Toro straight into this tree. So we're gonna have to lay up and tap out another bogey. So I believe at this point we are 1 over par. We have 2 bogeys and 1 birdie. Finally have a hole where I can open up the forehand a little bit, and I really loved this shot. The trespass just needed a little bit more swing over to the right and we would have been a lot closer. I grip locked this putt like an absolute champ, put myself inside the circle, bam, tap out another par. Really knocking down these pars today. But finally we have another opportunity with the Firebird and we're gonna take advantage of it. We're gonna put this thing just right behind the basket. That Firebird was flying beautifully for me all day long. It's just, I mean, it's a Firebird that flies like a TL, like a T-bird long. That Firebird is an absolute beauty, and that is going to be my straight Firebird probably for the rest of my life. This thing is an absolute unit. Now the next hole, we've got a nice little Valkyrie shot. Look at that beautiful hyzer flip straight up the fairway. Although this isn't going to give me a good birdie look due to all these trees, it is going to give us an easy par, which is going to be enough to gain some strokes on folks. Very difficult pin. Obviously, you can see that spider tree completely surrounding the basket. Things are not going great, but they're not going bad. Considering I don't know all these discs very well, my spirits are high. You can see I got a smile on my face. But what? This is hole 11 here. Hole 11 was reducing everybody's smiles off of everybody's faces. The fairway has not been trimmed up yet, and I'm not sure why we played this tee, but this hole required me to go with triple forehand rollers. I lay up with the Toro and put myself here. Fortunately, I'm able to, bam, knock down the bogey putt there, so that was for 5. I went 3 forehand rollers. Many players took 7s, 9s, 10s because the fairway is just not ready for tournament play yet. The tee pad was in, but that's pretty much it. On hole 12 here, grip lock, hit first available, somehow kick into the fairway. We're laying up with the Toro. I was really struggling with this Toro all day long. Putting ourselves at circle's edge, funky footing, bam, right off the cage. That's going to put us at another bogey. Tapping in. Clearly I'm slightly upset just tapping that one out. Now this shot was a shot I was really happy with, but I caught the last tree on the right. Again, kicking myself to, outside the circle, grip locking another putt to the right. Can we knock down the par though? I don't remember what happened. Bam, knocking down another par just like that. So the inside the circle putts were going pretty well actually. It's the outside the circle stuff that wasn't going super great. Almost hitting this turnover line with the Valkyrie, again hitting a tree. Welcome to Charlotte, everybody. If you've never played in Charlotte, this is the name of the game. It's trees on trees on trees. And that's just, the conditions that we get to play in here. Knocking down another par putt. Now this hole, I was the only person to go up the left gap. You need to be an absolute savage to go up the left gap. I put myself in the circle for a big birdie putt, bam, off the cage. Tapping in another par. I mean, somebody's got to buy this guy a birdie at some point. I don't really know what's going on here, but he's definitely not scoring the way he's capable of. This right here is the CTP hole of the day. It's like 400 feet. That's full power trespass. That thing flipped up to straight, giving me a nice fade. And I actually put myself in a position for another birdie on one of the toughest par 3s on the course, up in the air. Good thing I was blocking the camera so you couldn't really see it very well, but bam, makes the putt, puts in the long birdie putt, also winning the CTP on this hole. This is me saying, hey guys, I don't want to be too loud, but looky here, I won a CTP, let's go. Next hole, you can go the forehand through the gap on the left, which is what I should have done, but instead I decided to grip lock the T-bird for the 6th time today, hit first available on the right, kick into the fairway for an outside the circle putt. We're going to launch it up in the air. Boom, grip lock it to the right per usual. And can he make the par? Yes, he can. Splash. Another par for the day. Hole 18. We got some fake mozzarella sticks. Yeeting the forehand up the middle. Throwing the worst shot of all time. Then Toro straight into the tree. Definitely that was my game plan for sure. Then laying up another, this is for birdie right here, up in the air, miss, hit the cage, which was cool. All right, guys, tapping in yet another par. I'll see you guys in the next clip. All right, guys, round one is in the books. Just slammed a quick Baconator over at the Wendy's. Haven't been eating a lot of fast food lately, so hopefully that sits well. Been really taking my diet seriously, so hopefully the Wendy's doesn't cause an absolute disaster during the second round. Round one went pretty well. I threw the Valkyrie really well. I threw that Firebird pretty well. I got a couple of my birdies with the Firebird. Probably threw my best shot of the day with the Valkyrie on that tunnel shot where I took the left side gap. All the three other players on my card took the right gap. I took the left gap, and I was CTP, and unfortunately I missed the putt. Then one of my other best shots, hole 16, got the CTP on that hole, as you guys just saw. So that was a good moment for me, and then somehow willed that putt in. So that was a really nice birdie. Probably won't film round two, but I will use the exact same bag of discs. So that is the game plan. Top 6 players get cash, and I'm currently in 8th. I think if I shoot under par, I will cash. So that's kind of what I'm going for. I was shot 1 stroke worse than my rating. So if I could shoot 1 stroke better than my rating, which would be 1 under par, that would kind of even things out rating-wise and make today an overall success. But overall, I think I'm playing pretty well with these discs based on how little familiarity I have with them. There's a few discs in the bag that I haven't even thrown yet. The Challenger, not a lot of mids on this course. I did throw a really nice shot with the Evidence. But overall, I think the round went really well. I putted okay, probably missed once or twice inside the circle. That's going to happen with me because I don't practice putting ever. And even in a lot of my videos, I don't even putt. I just throw, pick up, go to the next tee, throw, pick up. So the fact that most of my putts were going in was a good sign. But anyway, I'll check in with you guys after round 2. Wish me luck. Hopefully we can cash and make this project not an absolute failure. So if I can cash with used discs, I definitely will consider myself to be the used disc master. Let's get it. All right, so here's what happened in the second round. Lots of pars. Well, I only birdied 1 hole. I probably had like 7 birdie putts, and I just missed all of them, so I didn't putt well in the second round. Shot 907 rated, 3 over par. I wound up in 9th place. I did miss cash. I'm not too mad about my performance, considering how little familiarity I had with these discs. So it's pretty cool I didn't come in dead last, but I did shoot substantially below my rating, which isn't good. But at this point in my disc golf career, I don't really care too much about my rating. I have no aspirations to go on tour. So overall, I think this is a really fun project. I do want to shout out Down for Disc Golf. They were absolutely pivotal in making this project happen. They have so many money runs in the used racks, and they actually just launched their online web store. So this has not been combed through properly. There are a ton of amazing gems in here, whether you're a disc flipper, whether you just want to find some old money runs. Like, look at this old Team Series Leopard. You do not see these anymore. These Leopards are absolute money. And all the prices are so fair, and the more discs you buy, the less per disc it costs to ship. The owner, Daryl, does a really good job at not only pricing the discs in a fair manner, but also trying to save you guys on shipping. So the more discs you buy, the less you will pay per disc for shipping. So that's fire as well. But nobody has really combed through this yet properly. So again, if you're someone who likes to buy and flip discs, you can make some really good profits just buying off this website, all the money runs, and then going and selling them on Facebook Marketplace, cutting yourself a profit. Or if you're just someone like me who loves throwing old used discs, discontinued molds, trying to find those underrated gems, I mean, this is the place that I like to go. I would say just comb through the site, look at all of the discs. Again, there's 2,000 to 3,000 discs. I also would recommend going into the physical location because they sell some brewskis on there. You can come in and use the net and throw the tech disc to flex that noodle arm. I know I thought I threw like 70 miles an hour, and then I went in and realized I throw like 60 miles an hour. So you can have a couple drinks, you can throw the tech disc, and then you can leave with some gems. Have yourself a really nice time. But anyway, shout out to Down for Disc Golf. I really appreciate them for being a part of the video. If you guys want to see another project like this, let me know in the comments section down below. I love making projects like this. They take a lot more work. But if the return is there and you guys see the entertainment value in projects like this, I actually prefer to make videos like this. But historically, it just hasn't been the way things have worked out. So if you guys like this type of project, let me know in the comments section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and take care.